Romeo, over.
Kilo Romeo, roger, and what's the name there?
Kilo Romeo, roger, and what's the name there?
The name is Dan, Delta Alpha November.
Roger, Dan, and whereabouts are you located, sir?
Roger, Dan, and whereabouts are you located, sir?
I'm located in Cleves, Ohio, about 20 miles northwest of downtown Cincinnati, over.
Roger, Dan, and what radio are you running today, sir?
Roger, Dan, and what radio are you running today, sir?
Well, I'm on an interesting radio. This is an SG-2000 Power Talk. An SG-2000 Power Talk, over.
All right, so give me the prefix in phonetics, roger?
Prefix in phonetics, roger?
Okay, it's Sugar George 2000 Power Talk.
Okay, Sugar George 2000 Power Talk, roger?
Okay, Sugar George 2000 Power Talk, roger?
Roger. It's primarily a marine, aircraft, whatever radio, commercial rig, which is capable of running a couple of 100 watts. I have it dialed back to about 100 right now on high power and about 50 on low power. I just kind of wanted to give you some chatter and see what you thought about the sound of the radio, over.
Yes, sir. Well, let's see. Dan, why don't you give me a little chatter about your antenna system for about 15 seconds or so, and let me look around and see if I can find a better path for us, roger?
And let me look around and see if I can find a better path for us, roger?
Okay. Actually, at the moment, I'm slowed down on one end to which is sloped down on one end to about 20 feet off the ground. The other end's about 40. About 150 feet long, center fed with open wire lines, which comes into the shack and goes straight to the back of an NFJ 962D tuner. And the antenna has performed excellent over the years, and I've been up there in probably 10, 12 years there, over.
Hey, roger there, Dan. You're ballistically just about perfect, about 3 dB dynamic range, which means that your average percent of peak modulation is around 80 to 85%. So ballistically, you're just fine. I'm just curious if that radio might have some onboard EQ gear, but I'm doubting that it does, since it sounds like it's more of a commercial radio, roger?
It does, since it sounds like it's more of a commercial radio, roger?
You are correct. It has nothing but a gain control through a little hole in the front panel, and that's about it. I have the stock dynamic microphone on it, and I've been running it for a while now, and I get some good comments about how it punches right out there, over.
Yes, sir. Well, that's that dynamic range that I was telling you about there. You're right on target on that at the moment. I was just curious, now, if you were to, is that a hand mic that you're running?
Curious. Now, if you were to, is that a hand mic that you're running?
Roger, it sure is.
Okay, if you would pull that hand mic to the side of your lips and talk across it, that would, I think, increase or decrease the mouth noise and still keep your dynamic range at about 3 dB, roger?
Keep your dynamic range at about 3 dB, roger?
Roger, okay. I'm doing that currently, just talking right across it. Have it up against my cheek and probably 1.5 inches or so away from the opening. So I take it it's popping a little bit. I kind of figured it might be. I was hitting it pretty hard there anyway, over.
Yes, so that sounds really good. I don't hear any mouth noise, and that's what I like, because, you know, mouth noise kind of competes with the words. And gosh, we have enough competition with trying to be heard in the beginning, let alone generating our own QRM. So, and that working it that way minimizes any of your mouth noise because the mic is to the side of your face as opposed to in front of your mouth. Roger?
The mic is to the side of your face as opposed to in front of your mouth. Roger?
Roger, roger. I'll tell you, this thing, I believe, is the bandwidth on transmit is fixed pretty much around like 2.4, 2.6, something like that. I'm not sure. But anyway, the other thing I like about this radio is it has a tremendous DSP section in it that actually, I'll tell you what, I have the control head sitting next to a 7300. And above the 7300, I have a 756 Pro, so I'm pretty much familiar with the DSP stuff. And this radio far and away outperforms either one of those radios on receive over.
Roger, I'm surprised that that wouldn't be a Collins radio that you're talking about, because they make a whole bunch of aeronautical and marine type radios. Roger?
Aeronautical and marine type radios. Roger?
Negative. No, this is an SGC radio, which they're out of business, but this radio was bought brand new in 1995, over.
Roger, roger. And so, gosh, it was intended for aeronautical and ship use, Roger?
Aeronautical and ship use, Roger?
That's correct. Also, a lot of government agencies also bought these radios. FEMA and some of the other agencies use these extensively in mobile use, and that's where this radio was from, a gentleman who had it in a big Dodge diesel pickup. I also have the SG-500 export version amplifier, and also have the SG-235 500-watt tuner, plus the mobile antenna and mount. So I've really got the whole setup there, over.
Roger, roger. And and you bought this in a commercial situation?
And you bought this in a commercial situation?
Negative. No, I bought it from an estate, and this was about maybe 4 months ago, and just really enjoy this thing. It's a really neat radio, over.
Roger, roger. Yeah, well, it really sounds great. And if you want to hear it, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 3,100 Qso-Vlog air check recordings, and I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow, Roger?
And I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow, Roger?
Roger, roger. I appreciate it very much, and yeah, I will check that out, because I'm just kind of curious how it sounds myself. So I've never heard it. But anyway, thanks a lot for what you do, Jim. I appreciate it, and I did talk to you a couple months ago, 950. The radio, so we just let him have that, but that was a very good radio. I really like that thing, too. So anyway, sounds like you've got a few other people in there, and I won't tie it up any longer, and I really appreciate your opinion there, and thank you very much. N8KKR, I'll clear out and let the other fellas go.
Roger, roger, Dan. Well, right at the last part of that, I managed to get over to my local 7300, and your audio just is great from top to bottom. Your EQ curve is just beautiful, and you know, a lot of that doesn't show up on SDR audio. But the 7300 on the low side, I've got all the filtering off and all that stuff, and it's good, you know, below 100 cycles, and on the top end, right at $3,000, and so your audio, when I finally got to my local antenna, just popped out even better, and I think you'll be able to hear that, Roger. Although the signal wasn't quite as loud on my 7300, but the audio quality, I think you can hear it, Roger.
Roger. So I guess that would put the bandwidth about 2.9 or so, 2.8, 2.9. So that's plenty good. Anyway, we'll let you get, and thank you very much, and I will go and check out the recording. Have a good day, and 7-3, appreciate you. N8KKR, clear.
Roger, Roger, Dan. And I have a chevron on the right side, lower right side of my screen that tells somebody what I'm listening to as I switch through my SDRs and my local antenna and all that stuff. It reflects what I'm listening to, so you might listen to that or watch that also, so you can tell what you're sounding like at different places in real time. So 73 there, Dan, and have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend, and like I say, I'll have this posted by noon tomorrow. 73, sir. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.